This is Ed in San Diego, and welcome back to Global TV Talk Show as the world turns. We welcome James Moss live with us right now from Manhattan. Is that right?
That is right, Ed. Thank you very
Okay,
much,
good.
and great to see you, and great to be back again.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So when do you go out to the Hamptons?
Not really getting out there very much is the sad truth.
Well, it's
I
not summer yet.
Yeah, I have no, grown up kids, teenagers, 18-year-old boys who have just arrived home
Oh,
and are working. I'm delighted to say. At least one of them is going to be working in the zoo this summer here in New York. The other one's probably going to be scooping ice cream or something. So we're going to be here. I'm going to be here in New York City. I think it's approaching 90 degrees today already, and I can hardly wait.
yeah. Well, good for you. So I want to tell you that I'll change the subject here. The ad that I saw recently that you ran, that you published, is beautiful. Very nice.
Ah, well, thank you. It's great to hear that.
Yeah. So this is Curzon Comments. We've been doing this more than a year, and thank you for doing this, James. I really appreciate it. I want to go deeper. I'm going to start something similar here in San Diego. Uh, it hasn't launched yet, but I'm getting ready to. And about property, of course, but also about the construction boom that's been going on here in downtown.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, uh, it's just, I'm in Seaport Village area, and just around 15 blocks north along the Embarcadero is Little Italy, the section they call Little Italy, which means a lot of Italian restaurants and and old time Italian residents, and a lot of people who want to be around that in new high rises. And so that 10 to 15 block area, there's been absolute red hot high rise construction, one right after another.
Ah,
It's mostly apartments, luxury apartments, not condos. But
ah,
there are condo places in between.
okay. That's interesting. That sort
Yeah,
of
yeah,
differentiation between the two.
yeah. And right down the street here, I'm in the business district here. Actually, as I mentioned, Seaport
Yeah,
Village. It's
yeah.
right adjacent to Government Center. Uh, so we're adjacent to the federal courthouse, and that's across the street from the city court and also the county or the state court. And so this is government center. And mixed in with all those offices are high rise towers full of attorneys and people related to the legal profession and the judiciaries.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then right down the street is the tourist area connected to the Hyatt and the Marriott, Hilton, uh, and the Embarcadero is where the cruise ships come in. So it's a very busy area on this part of town. And Little Italy, as I just mentioned, we walk it. It's about 30-minute walk, uh, and popular area. It's good. San Diego's hot.
Well, I think it'll do incredibly well if New York City's anything to go by. I mean, all the development down, sort of downtown, if you like, Southport area, so on. I mean, it's it's completely changed the dynamic of the city, and lots of businesses and so on used to be in Midtown. They were regionally downtown, then they went Midtown, and now they've all gone back downtown because there's so much really good quality residential going on down there. The mix is really good with the tourists and the sort of vibe of the place, the water. I mean, it's not quite as probably as stunning and as relaxed as San Diego, but and you've got the Pacific Fleet there and all the rest of them. You've got so much going on there. I think it will be a great great combination. They should work very well.
Yeah. Okay. So London is booming or not booming?
Yes, well, it sort of depends a little bit about how you look at it. Is London booming? I would say London is in traditional good shape, but is the London property market booming? The answer is no, not particularly. But it does depend a little bit on which hat you're wearing. So, to give you an example, okay, and relating it to like relocation or people moving and people paying rents. Rents are really going up, okay, and supply is really going down. And the reason is well, there are a number of reasons, but the most recent reason is a thing called the Renters' Rights Act 2026 that came into effect on the 1st of May this year. Okay. And what that's done is that it's completely changed the legal structure of tenancies. And the bottom line is tenants can get out at 2 months' notice. Okay, they just serve the notice and they leave. There's no more sort of fixed term 1 year tenancies or anything like that. A landlord can serve the notice, but it has to be a 4 months notice on very specific grounds, and they can't serve it before 12 months. I think it's a bit of a non-point because most landlords want tenants to stay anyway. And most tenants, because there's a shortage of good quality rental housing in London, don't particularly want to move. So but what has happened is forced a number of landlords have decided just to sell, just to get out of the business, get out of the rental business, for tax reasons and so on. Our clients actually mainly stay because they're overseas owners. They're buying or have bought or have owned for long-term, medium and long-term investments, or as pied-à-terres, and they love London. So you've sort of got this bit of a mixed bag going on. House prices are relatively flat. Nothing too exciting really has been happening there. So is London booming? London's certainly healthy and is certainly in good cultural shape. But if you're moving to London, it's easier, but it's tougher because it's a lot more regulated, but it's a bit more property around sometimes. But it's a real mixed bag. And if you are going to go and rent somewhere in London, there are many, many more hoops to go through. It's not as bad as New York yet, but yeah, I mean it's hard work. But yeah, it remains a great city, and real estate always does well then the long term.
Yeah. Okay. So what about Brexit? Is Brexit coming back, or are they going to be reversed?
I think it sort of is coming back actually. Sort of by the back door is the best way to put it. So Keir Starmer, Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, has sort of been having for quite a while now long-term, very friendly discussions, shall we say, friendly parentheses there, with the German Chancellor, and I think he is trying to find a way to sort of get back or sort of reverse Brexit in some way or another. The interesting thing there is that he's probably up for, or he could very likely be up for a leadership challenge from a guy called Andy Burnham, and there's a by-election going on in a week or two's time. And if that chap wins, he's very pro-Europe. And if he wins, the money is on that he will run a leadership challenge against Keir Starmer and will quite likely win. And if that happens, I think we will see even a stronger shift going back, sort of UK connecting more so to Europe, which I think it needs to do, actually.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's sort of where it is. I mean, watch this space over the summer, and we'll see who the leader of the Labour Party is going to be in a few months' time. And that
So I want to cover this story going forward, and you're going to be our chief correspondent.
you won't be able to avoid it. Actually, it's in all the American newspapers as well. It's great.
All right. So your boys are in Connecticut somewhere in private school? Not right now, but during the school year.
Yeah. They've that's what they do. That's what sort of our family background is. So yeah, so they go to boarding school there, which is a huge relief. So they're not hanging around the house and stuff like that and being a nuisance. We love them very much, but but yeah, so they're up there. It's quite good from my point of view because I go to Connecticut quite a bit. I like Connecticut a lot, and it's quite a good relocation place. We're also licensed, although we're mainly doing relocation at the moment, but we're actually licensed brokers in Connecticut. So it's sort of quite a nice way just to keep tabs on things. But we're New York City people. That's what we do, and that's what we focus on.
Yeah, very nice. So let me ask you a couple of questions about the relocation industry. Companies are still moving people around, right?
Yeah, definitely. But it's all changing, and it's been changing for a while. More and more people are doing their own thing. It's the same sort of playbook as it's been for a few years. In that companies are desperate to cut costs. Assignees given more and more lump sums of money to go ahead and do what they want. When you're given a lump sum of money, the first thing you want to do is put it in your pocket and then to keep as much of it as possible in your pocket. Technology has made incredible strides, at least in our camp it has. So, we're using mobile apps, we use things like expense trackers, we use AI, and it just accelerates the whole thing and makes everything so much easier and so much more affordable for people. I mean, it's really great. I'm not sort of blowing my own trumpet here, but it really does make a huge difference. But are people moving? Yes, they are. A lot of movement is interesting in New York City because there's a lot of movement out to Florida and places like that, really. But it tends to be more back office types of thing, of operations. Front of office has never been busier than here in New York. So if you look at
front of office means what? A headquarters location?
Yeah, their headquarters. So like take JP Morgan, for example. I mean, there's a great example. They just built this magnificent building down on, I think it's, I can't quite remember the address. And it's built with the architect's Norman Foster, who, one of probably our greatest living British architects. or international architect. Started, I think they call them architects these days. Um, and that holds 10,000 people, and JP Morgan have an awful lot more people than that. But the importance of New York, particularly for new companies coming in, international companies coming in, they want a presence in New York. So grade A office space in New York is at its lowest vacancy rate in years. It's been snapped up. The office space that is hanging around is sort of secondary office space. So the sort of head office side of life is very, very much in New York. But there's been movement, say, a lot of movement to Florida, particular note, Texas. There was a fair bit of movement to the Sun Belt. But I think really sort of Florida and Texas have been the main places where people have been going to. But we're very happy here in New York. We get lots of international people coming through, and a fair few domestics, Americans. So yeah, that's sort of how it's working here in the city at the moment.
Interesting. Well, what is going on with you in terms of the activity reaching out to companies to generate business revenue for CurzonRelos?
Well,
You using the apps and all of that goes with that. As you said, it's cost effective, popular, and on target.
yeah, well, the CurzonRelo does reasonably well actually in helping people move, not just into New York, but in the States. We do some stuff in the UK and elsewhere. And the technology helps. I mean, technology at the end of the day is just a tool. Okay, it's just it's not the thing that really matters. The thing that really matters is the people. It's the it's our relo advisors who are all trained relocation experts, are supported by the technology, as are the clients and the individuals moving. It's not mandatory. You don't have to use our app. You don't have to use our technology. It makes life a lot easier and simpler, particularly for certain types of people, assignees, corporate people who are moving. But really, it's a people business. And the name of the game is really making the most of the technology, but keeping it one-to-one and very personal. And that's what we do. So we use AI quite a bit. And AI really helps both our relo advisors and very much our assignees. But no one relies on it. I mean, you look at it, you get a guide, you can check facts, but you have to be careful because AI isn't necessarily all that accurate. It will give you a sort of quite a good overview. But one of the things that I've certainly learned about AI is you've got to challenge it. Don't just take it for gospel. And that's where relo advisors are so fantastic, because they're local, they're there on the ground, they know the scene, they know what's going on. And so we're not, dependent on it. I mean, if someone wanted to do a full relocation on AI, they could do so. And we do a program, a 1-hour program, Ed, where you can use our AI and have 1 hour of local relo advisor time in your destination for $99. I mean, it's pretty incredible. But I got to say, not many people, hardly anyone does that, because it's interesting. It's nice to know you can do it, but the reality is there's an awful lot of work involved in relocating, not just finding a place, but you're doing your visas, your shipping, you're settling in, your bank accounts, your social security number if you're coming in from overseas, If you're renting an apartment here in New York and you're renting it in an apartment building, the hoops you have to go through. I mean, there's no AI programs going to help you do that or get you through that. You need experts who are going to represent you and get you through the board, get you the best deal, get you the best rent, get you the best terms. And machines can't do that. Well, they could do it theoretically, but you're dealing with people the whole time, and that's what it comes down to. So, technology is great. I'm very a big fan of it, but it's not the magic wand that solves all your problems. But it does reduce your costs a lot if you use it the right way. We can reduce costs 60 to 80%, against traditional relocation costs, if it's used the right way. So that's the picture, really.
That's a story. That's the big story.
Yeah, I think so. It's it's a people business, but technology can make it really efficient. It's also very friendly, actually, just chatting to people like you and I do now, but you're doing it on phone and stuff. And it's 24/7. So, it's a lot of really great things about it. But at the end of the day, you need someone at the other end to really sort of talk you down and get you through it.
Interesting. So, thank you for being my guest again on the show. Catch up. This is like a news briefing.
Well, it's always good to touch base, and update on what's going on and so on. And, markets change and people move in different ways, and companies, change as well. So, yeah, there's quite a lot to do. Just to mention, we're doing more property management now, which is beginning to roll that out in New York City. And that's really aimed at supporting both corporate clients and private clients. And that's a really great space because often people are sort of, I wouldn't say they're stranded because they're not stranded. But they, often need help with, things come up in their buildings or whatever, and they need assistance. Or if they need furniture to be rented or terms to be negotiated, or all sorts of things. And we also, for private clients, do renovation work. So we work with architects and engineers and stuff like that. And that's sort of fairly new for us. We do a lot of that in London. We've been doing it for 25 years in London. And I thought it's about time we should be doing it over here as well. So it's an adjunct to the relocation side. It's also very mainstream private client business here in New York City.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
I know. All right. Take care.
Thanks. All the best, sir. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.